It is a milestone weekend for a Pittsburgh-based nonprofit that is now making its mark across the globe, all by making sure babies have a safe place to sleep. It was founded in a garage in 1998 and has now helped more than 1 million families. Kim Gable shows us where they're headed next on a positive note.
When you think of little babies sleeping soundly and safely in comfy cribs like these, our city of Pittsburgh may not be the first thing to come to mind. But this massive warehouse along 2nd Avenue is home to a movement that's making a huge difference. So let's take you upstairs, where the founder and CEO had a pretty impressive announcement.
Yes, we're really excited about celebrating our 25th anniversary tonight here in Hazelwood, Pennsylvania.
What began in Western PA is now a global campaign known as Cribs for Kids Worldwide. Already 2,000 partners across the country and educational programs in Israel and Canada. Now a brand new partner in Australia, all focused on a simple yet vital message that's all about the ABCs. Infants are most safe alone on their backs in a crib.
Back when I started Cribs for Kids, we were losing 28 babies a year just in Allegheny County alone. Now we're down to about 10 to 13 a year, which is still way too many. We're seeing those same results throughout the country who do our program.
Cribs for Kids has provided more than 1 million cribs and cribettes to families in need and over $1 million in safe sleep products across the region.
It warms my heart to know that the little ones are going home to that safe sleep space. A lot of moms don't know how to identify what that means. They think it's safe when the baby's snuggled up under me or the baby's on the couch with me. And having that identified space is crucial.
So it's so important that we are improving the infant mortality rate by having these safe sleep spaces given to our families. And what not better way than to work with Cribs for Kids. And we actually have a very formalized partnership that they've allowed for us to be the local actual educators providing safe sleep education here in Pittsburgh.
And all of that is reason to celebrate. Festive photo ops, an array of awards, and an audience of supporters and advocates. And it's only appropriate that the ones who benefit the most, like adorable baby Hugo here, were also on hand to celebrate a mission that's moved beyond our borders. In Hazelwood, this is Kim Gable on a positive note.
And of course, we love to hear your positive stories here at KDKA, so just submit your story idea to kdka.com/OPN. Then we can share more positive stories to everyone.
Sorry, Devon, you're muted.
Oh my goodness, you guys, apologies. Okay, so let's try. Cut, we'll edit. No, we won't. This is it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the final edition of Cribs for Kids 25th Anniversary Safe Sleep Champion webinar series. With today's webinars, we are wrapping up this year-long program. My name is Devon George. For now, I'm the program officer here at Cribs for Kids. Later, I'll be joined by our Safe Sleep Champion guest from Safe Sleep Simulation, then by my colleagues, including our CEO and founder, Judy Bannon. As always, we have Andrea Wilson and Kelly James running the show behind the scene. For those of you joining us live today, as you log in, your mic is muted, which mine should not have been, and your camera is off. So feel free to enjoy your lunch, snack, or coffee, depending upon wherever in the country you are. You can see, too, that chat and Q&A are available. Andrea and Kelly are keeping an eye on both for the hour. Chat is for comments if you want to say hey to somebody you see here. Q&A is for questions for us and for our guests. We don't think we'll have time to take questions before the end of the hour, but please do ask them. Just be sure to use Q&A and not chat, and include a way we can reach you after the webinar so that we can answer those questions. If you logged in right at noon, you saw local news coverage here in Pittsburgh of the end of the year party that was in our headquarters to celebrate Cribs for Kids 25th anniversary. And that's what we've been doing across 2023 with these monthly Safe Sleep Champion webinars. Today's session is the last one in this series where over the past year, each month, we've talked with amazing people about the work they do to prevent infant deaths and injuries from unsafe sleep. Like today's session, the webinars are live, as you saw in the beginning here, but are recorded and uploaded to our website and our YouTube channel. That means you can watch and share any of these sessions. Our webinars can be found in one of two ways, on our website or our YouTube channel. On the website, go to cribsforkids.org, click on the About menu, and then the 25th anniversary link. On YouTube, go to the Cribs for Kids channel and click on the playlist button. I love the playlist button. There you'll find all of the webinars in one of our playlists. You'll also see other great stuff, including our animated safe sleep videos, our 12-step video, and of course, our lullaby. As you scroll through the library of webinars, you'll see we have covered lots of ground in the last year. Support, research, products, childcare, and more. It's all out there. And this week's session will be out there as well and uploaded in about a week or so. One more note, if you've joined us live before or watched a recording of an earlier webinar, you know we are normally coming to you from our great webinar chat set in our Pittsburgh headquarters that we debuted last March. Well, our HVAC system is out. So without that, all of our Cribs for Kids team members are coming to you from our homes, as you see. Keep an ear out for my barking dogs. We should send a prize for somebody who puts in the chat when they hear that. We are missing being together in the office, but you know the new saying, the webinar must go on. So for today's final session, we have lots to share. The innovative work being done by our guests from Safe Sleep Simulation, announcing milestone winners of our Cribette and Safe Sleep Ambassador Goals, 2023 highlights, including a great magic wand moment video from some of our webinar guests, and of course, what's on deck for 2024. Fair warning, we might go over our 1 hour planned time. So, and also please ignore my side eye, as I'll be saying to Andrea when I look at my second monitor. Next slide. So let's get started and see how we do. Andrea, next slide. First, our Safe Sleep Champion guests. Today, we are joined by team members from Parkview Mira Center for Research and Innovation in Indiana, Alyssa Enger and Adrian Hinesley, where they work on the Safe Sleep Simulation team. It is such an innovation, wait until you see. Alyssa holds degrees in biology, including her master's specializing in research biotechnology and molecular microbiology, complemented by coursework in nursing. With a diverse career spanning various health roles, including those on the hospital unit in the medical labs, and also serving as a neurophysiologist. Alyssa brings her comprehensive expertise in clinical operations and patient care to her role as an innovation project specialist. Concurrently, she also works as the manager of operations for Safe Sleep Simulation, ensuring efficient functioning of critical operational elements and ensuring the highest standards of quality and consumer satisfaction for those customers. We also welcome Adrian Hinesley, using her degree in public health with a specialized focus in health services management to support safe sleep. Adrian works every day bridging healthcare knowledge with public health education to impact infant well-being as part of the Safe Sleep Simulation team. Okay. Hey, our guests, go ahead, unmute. Let's see those cameras. Let's see if you did better than you already are doing better than I did. Thanks so much. Welcome, you guys. I can't wait to show. Yeah, it's great to see you here with, and hear you, despite being from my home and screwing up in the beginning. I cannot wait to show everyone what Safe Sleep Simulation has to offer. Now, I came to learn of your team's work when Parkview Health earned a system-wide infant safe sleep hospital certification across all of their birthing hospitals in Indiana. They included this teaching as some of their outreach. And I was like, what is that? So a quick note too, that Judy let me know that Parkview Health was one of Cribs for Kids' very first partners. So you guys are true leaders in infant safe sleep. Thank you. All right, so tell us a little bit about Parkview Health, its hospitals, and the Mira Research and Innovation Center.
So Parkview Health is a not-for-profit community health system in Northeast Indiana and Northwest Ohio. We have 16,000 coworkers, 13 hospitals, and serve 1.36 million people. And if you go to the next slide, actually.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out how to do that without being like, wait.
We pride ourselves on being the safety net hospital for our region. And if you don't know what a safety net hospital is, we serve populations and individuals, no matter income status, insurance, anything, they walk through our doors, we take care of them. And the vision of Parkview is that the patient is at the center of everything that we do. If you go to the next slide. At the Parkview Muro Center, our mission is to provide opportunities that will open new doors and potentially revolutionize healthcare and save lives of individuals that are close to you. Specifically on the innovation team, we want to empower entrepreneurs through innovation, research, and simulation. Within our center, we have an amazing health services informatics research team and a clinical research team. We've been doing clinical research for 25 plus years now at Parkview Health. And then we also have an advanced medical simulation lab in our innovation team.
So much stuff. Alyssa, thank you. So tell me then, how did infant safe sleep become part of Muro Center's work?
So back in 2020, our innovation team ran a data palooza with the Indiana State Department of Health and the HIMSS Indiana chapter. HIMSS is the Healthcare Information and Management Systems Society, where we analyzed the data within the Indiana Management Performance Hub and found our top pain points for Indiana and our region. From this data, we were able to kick off our very first Healthy Mom and Baby Innovation Competition, where we put out a call to action to find solutions that could help reduce infant mortality rates. We thought this was great as that innovation competition was a global innovation competition, and not only is low or high infant mortality rates a problem in Indiana and Allen County, but also, as we know, the United States. So.
Yeah, it's really great. So evidence-based, what do we want to work on? And then infant safe sleep came into there. So that's great. So I have one of your babies here. Let me hold him up there. And it comes in a great carrying case that you can see up here. And in a couple of minutes, I know Adrian is going to show us how it all works. But I understand that this was a super collaborative, cross-functional project as it developed. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so Lisa Clemens and John Lozo are the co-founders of Safe Sleep Simulation. They were working in our advanced medical simulation lab in 2020. Lisa was working on a project for her doctorate in medical science education and proposed the idea of leveraging highly realistic technologies and hands-on training to maximize the impact of safe sleep education. And once the idea was proposed at the Healthy Mom and Baby competition, our panel of judges selected Lisa and John to move through on the accelerator portion of our competition. They collaborated with our innovation team, Matter Health, which is our partner and a healthcare startup incubator out of Chicago. Then our Parkview Nurse Navigator team, and Healthier Moms and Babies, which is a local nonprofit that provides home visiting and resources and education to parents and caregivers to help refine and develop the kit. And once the kit was developed, the innovation team, we took the idea and developed the startup and what you have today. Yeah.
I mean, that is a really big tent you guys pitched to pull everybody in, and that's why this is so great. So tell us about, I mean, everybody has great ideas, right? But tell us about the evolution of this one, how this really interesting idea actually became an innovative teaching tool.
Yeah, so the idea was to take the simulation mannequins to baby fairs and utilize that technology to educate caregivers. However, we know this is extremely expensive and the equipment is difficult to scale if you don't have people that can operate the equipment in the mannequins. So the first proposal was to make this to scale was to take this 3D printed anatomically correct airway that you see and take that to show parents why it's important to do back is best. But as you can see, if you don't know anatomy and physiology, that people didn't know what this was. They were very confused. So they said, can you make this smaller, put it in a baby so that people can see? So our second prototype was this 3D printed baby model that you can see, put the airway in, but they said it was too small and still the airway looked a little complicated. So our final prototype, as you can see on the page, is our baby that you're holding with the airway inside, and the baby is also 5 pounds, 4 ounces. It's made out of silicone, easy to handle, easy to clean. And it also feels heavy like a baby. So when you hand the doll to a patient caregiver, they get buy-in because they're like, oh, this is heavy. Like it catches their attention. And then we also developed a application to utilize in addition to the doll. It's a simulated O2 monitor that has common unsafe sleep situations and positions, as well as common risk factors. A lot of our home visitors express the benefit of using the application, especially when discussing risk factors like cigarette or drug use, because it was a less invasive approach to talking to them. It sparked a conversation instead of them just barking orders, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you, here's what you're supposed to do. No,
Yeah.
let's take a look at what this looks like. So as it was, and again, you clearly, the development involved lots of feedback. You guys are never working in a vacuum, it seems like.
Yes.
So as this was implemented across your system and in the communities, like you said, what was that response? I know you mentioned that it sparked a conversation. What else did you hear?
Yeah, so, everybody that sees this doll, I think we get this from not only caregivers, parents, babysitters, but we also get it from the educators themselves. One thing we found out was that some people that do safe sleep education don't necessarily have a medical background or like anatomy and physiology. So they still, maybe don't know the insides and like how things work that well. So for people to have just that light bulb moment of just like, oh, that's why you're supposed to put the baby on the back. That's where the fluid goes. And that's why, having the trachea on the bottom, if they're like belly sleeping, that could be damaging. So
yeah, and we have some images that show that, but like you said, to see it and to be able to see that fluid move in the airway, it's really quite something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so Adrienne, you're gonna do your thing. Let us see how this works.
So this is our infant model, as they have talked about before. So inside you can see the airway, and the liquid is this dark blue. So that represents any fluid that would be in the stomach upon putting your baby to sleep. So just to start off, what people think that it should be on the stomach, it actually shows with the force that liquid would, yes, come out of the mouth like a lot of caregivers think, but also you risk that chance of that fluid getting into the lungs. To where if you sleep the baby on its back, like you should, you can see that fluid will be forced out, but then the excess will go back into the stomach, and there is not a risk for that. So we also have added in the positional asphyxiation for car seats and swings. So if you see this part, this represents the real size of a newborn infant trachea, and just
tiny.
So
right,
tiny, with just the small droop forward of their head without the support of their neck, you can actually see that airway start to close up.
Yeah.
And then to go along with our model, we have our Safe Sleep app. I know it's kind of hard to see and read, but I'll just explain it. So these are the sleeping positions. So we have.
So, hey, Adrienne, I'm going to let you know that I saw somebody in chat said, can you open her screen so we can see? So now you're actually, I don't know if you can see, you're big, so it's easier to see everything.
Awesome.
So thanks for that chat message.
Up here, we have all of the sleeping positions. So we have on back, stomach, side sleeping, car seat, swing, co-sleeping, hammock, adult bed, and these are customizable. So you can switch out anything that you would have or that you're seeing in your community for sleeping positions, and then all kinds of different risk factors that may go along with that. So you can see if the baby's sleeping on its back, O2 saturation levels are steady, but as soon as you place the baby on its stomach, maybe.
I feel ya with my muted mic. We're just going to pass this from the HVAC system to my muted mic to the, oh, yeah.
Keep passing it back and forth. Okay, so baby's on back. You can see that those O2 levels are consistent, they're not dropping. But as soon as you put baby on his stomach, you can see them slowly start to fall. And then if you add in other risk factors such as pillows, blankets, maybe stuffed animals, you get that red flashing light and then all that alarm as well. And that adds other modules of education for the parents to really get that light bulb moment and to get that to click by hearing that sound. It'll go off, I promise.
Yeah.
But as you're going along with the app, we recommend that you use the infant model to kind of show the different positions and simulate the app.
Yeah, it is great. I mean, when you see all of that, it's easy to see how that light bulb comes on. So thank you. It's really great with such a high touch, high impact teaching tool. So what were the next steps to expand its use?
Since starting Safe Sleep Simulation, we have realized that the best way to get the message across about safe sleeps is to have our tangible learning tool in the hands of educators. So we found that the best way is by traveling across the US to exhibit at various infant and maternal health trade shows and conferences. And this allows us to directly engage with the educators and professionals who can then incorporate it into their already existing teaching methods.
So when Cribs for Kids attended the A1 conference last year, and I think we had some pictures of the conference booth. I don't know if your window expanded, if Andrew's able. Oh, here we go. There we go. There you guys are. When we were at the A1 conference last year in New Orleans, right? Is that where it was? Yes. Mm-hmm. We were lucky enough to have the booth right next to you guys. It was a great few days together, right?
Yes.
But Adrienne, and it was one of your first, right? One of your first times with it. Yep. Yeah. So you might remember this interaction the way I do. So we're standing right next to each other so we can hear each other's booths, right? And there was a real standout moment when I overheard a conversation with a visitor who came up to your booth, and he started giving parameters like you just showed on that app, you know, baby, and kind of rattling off those things, blankets and baby's positioning, for you to demonstrate to him what the app did. And he said, this is the scenario when my baby died. Like I said, like we've run through some of this stuff and I still get upset because it was it was like, oh my goodness. Is this even an unusual conversation for your team to have? It was unusual for me to hear.
Yeah, unfortunately it's not. We hear these multiple times at every single show about SID-related stories. A1 was definitely a turning point for me when I realized that there was an immense gap in safe sleep education. The show before A1 actually is when I heard the first story of something like this happening, and it was etched in my mind forever. It involved a mother who was breastfeeding at a family reunion surrounded by her closest loved ones, and when her infant stopped moving, she had just assumed that the baby had fallen asleep, so she continued to breastfeed. However, when the family was preparing to leave, she later discovered that her child had suffocated. So these heartbreaking instances aren't even limited to parents. They happen to babysitters, grandparents, friends, family, older siblings. It's experiences like this that definitely fuel the work that we do and our passion for safe sleep education.
Yeah, and it's really brave of people to share their stories, right? Because the deaths are preventable. I think it is, you know, it's really brave of people to come and let you know what they experience so that you guys can continue to develop education and we can continue to develop. And it is, I'm sure, as you said, this has to keep your whole team focused on how important the work is that you guys are doing. So what's the status of Safe Sleep Simulation?
As always, staying focused on our mission and understanding its impact always keeps our team motivated and driven. But regarding the status of Safe Sleep Simulation, as we expand as a startup, we are prioritizing gathering customer feedback. One of the significant feedback requests that we have received was the need for a more realistic representation of skin tones. So in response, we have worked diligently to create a new skin tone variant that bridges the gap between our darkest shade and one of our medium shades. So that will be available in upcoming months. But furthermore, we are in the process of discussing the second phase of our application to determine the most beneficial enhancements for educators and parents based on their feedback. This collaborative approach will ensure that any developments align closely with the preferences of our users.
Yeah, you guys are so collaborative, always seeking that feedback, and that's what makes this valuable. So if I'm looking at the screen and I see there's the 4 babies there, now there's going to be a 5th baby, right? Yep. No name for baby yet, right?
No name yet.
it's a name your own, right? When they purchase the baby and the app, they can name it whatever they like. So if someone is watching and wants to learn more or wants to connect or learn how to secure a baby in the app, how do they do that?
If you're interested in learning more about us, you can visit safesleepsimulation.com or reach out to us at info@safesleepsimulation.com.
Yeah.
And
I feel like we have a contact slide. Yeah.
yes, if you want to go to the next slide, there's a QR code. If people want to scan that. We also have Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter.
Hey, Andrea, next slide. There we go.
Yes.
QR code, Facebook, LinkedIn. Right? We are making do, right? Normally we would all be in one place. And then you guys are on the road in 2024. I just saw the next slide come up for where we can find you. Tell us about some of that.
Yes, so in 2024, our team will be on the road attending several conferences, including AMCHIP, FCC, Labor of Love, and Indiana A1. We're continuously adding more conferences throughout the year, so I recommend checking up our upcoming events on our website for the latest updates on where you can find us. And if there's a conference or an event that you would like to see us and see our models, but you don't see it on our list, then please reach out to us because we're always open to considering new opportunities.
Yeah, that's great. Hopefully we'll see you. I think we're going to be at A1 in Phoenix in June. So,
Awesome.
So maybe we'll see you there again. Yeah. So thank you so much, you guys. You're championing this innovative safe sleep teaching tool and for giving us your time today. It's really fascinating. I think everybody watching will agree it's a real step forward in safe sleep teaching. We're super appreciative of the safe sleep champions like you who joined us over the year. We're going to hear from some of them next as they share their magic wand for safe sleep. But before we do that, so if you each had a magic wand, what wish would you guys make for infant safe sleep? Adrienne and Alyssa?
If I had a magic wand, I would use it to instantly ensure that every young caregiver, especially those in high school and middle school who babysit, possess the comprehensive knowledge and understanding of safe sleep practices for infants. This magical intervention would eliminate the current gap in safe sleep education, leading to a generation of caregivers who are well equipped to provide a safe sleep environment for infants under their care. Our ongoing partnership with the students at our local high school and Indiana State Department of Health to create a content geared towards educating the demographic is already working to bridge this gap. But with the wave of a magic wand, this problem would be solved.
Yeah, that would be great, right? Just kind of so it becomes second nature. That's all they ever know. That's all they ever know. So just, you don't see, those babies riding on anybody's lap. They're all in car seats. Nobody would ever think of that. So hopefully as this younger generation, and that's one of the reasons that we did the Safe Sleep Sammy and Sasha that you see back here, right? The toy kit. So the kind of was designed as a sibling gift, but we know it's being used otherwise. So 100% Adrienne on board. How about you, Alyssa?
Oh, so it was kind of a wild journey for me coming into this role that I'm in now. When I started this role, I was 5 months pregnant for my first child and back in 2021. And I, knew about safe sleep, being in the medical field and stuff, but like seeing that like it came at just the right time for me. But then having my son and having a lot of sleep issues with him to the point where I was sleep deprived and going weeks without sleep because he had reflux and just could not get him to settle down without holding him when he slept. So I didn't sleep because I was horrified of sleep related death. But after like doing a lot of, and this is just my brain and how I am, doing a lot of research and figuring out like what's the anatomy of a child versus an adult, and like how does their physiology work, what are their hormones like, their cycles, and their sleep cycles are different than our sleep cycles. If I could wave a magic wand, everybody would have all the knowledge of everybody's bodily functions and anatomy and physiology, because I feel like not only would we be better advocates for ourselves, we'd be better advocates for our children and anybody that we care for.
Right. So kind of setting that expectation. This is the way baby's going to sleep. These are the problems that you might have. Here's how you're going to be affected and impacted, and maybe being better prepared, and would certainly, that would great magic wand, right? So yeah, love it. Thank you guys again so much, both of you. And if anyone wants to connect, we have your contact information in the chat. If they didn't grab that QR code, or you can see the social media. And we were, just like having you guys here, so honored to welcome Safe Sleep champions like you guys across all of 2023. We asked some of them for their magic wand wish, like you guys just did. We're going to share those with you now in this 10-minute video. And after the video, we'll be back with Judy and Bridget. Okay, Andrea, and thanks, you guys.
I'm Dr. Barbara Ostfeld, a professor in the Department of Pediatrics at Rutgers Robert Wood Johnson Medical School and program director of the SIDS Center of New Jersey. If I had a magic wand to wave to make one change when it comes to infant safe sleep, what change would I make? The one change would be in funding, but it has 3 parts. Better funding for research related to potentially treatable but as yet undetectable causes of a sudden infant death, better funding to assure equal access to safe sleep equipment, and better funding to address the adverse social and health determinants that elevate risk and contribute to disparities in rates. And examples can include poverty, preterm birth, and access to care.
Hi, my name is Sarah Drum. I am a bedside nurse in the NICU at Boston Children's Hospital, and I am also co-chair of our hospital's Infant Safe Sleep Subject Matter Expert Committee. So answering the question of what I would like to see if I could wave a magic wand related to infant safe sleep, I'd have to bring it back to my bedside practice in the NICU. And I noticed that when I am working with families who have their first baby, when I bring up infant safe sleep, in most cases, they have never heard of infant safe sleep in any of their prenatal appointments, any of the classes that they've taken. So my wish would be that infant safe sleep is a part of everyone's prenatal care and all of the education that they take. And I was thinking back to when I was a child growing up in the 70s and 80s. One thing I could relate this to is wearing seatbelts in cars. First of all, I'm pretty sure my parents' first car didn't even have a seatbelt in the back. And then wearing helmets on our bikes. That was another thing that we didn't used to do. Then it became law, and next thing you know, everyone wore a helmet when they rode their bike. So if infant safe sleep could be just like that, you don't think twice about putting on a seatbelt when you get in a car. You don't think twice about putting a helmet on when you get on a bike. And wouldn't it be great if new parents didn't think twice about only placing their infant in a safe sleep environment to sleep? So that's my wish. Thanks so much.
My name is Shayna Rayfield from the Claire Bear Foundation, and if I had a magic wand to wave, I would take unsafe products for infant sleep off the market.
So, well, if I had the super industrial size magic stethoscope wand, I think what I would do is eliminate poverty, right? Because there are health disparities, and a lot of this comes out and health outcomes are based in these disparities. And if you don't have access to healthcare, if you aren't able to take the time off from work so that you can spend time with your baby and do your breastfeeding and do all these things, you are going to be behind with that. And I think that's why we see higher rates of infant mortality overall, as well as SUD, compared to European countries, because they take care of families after birth. So I couldn't get rid of poverty. That's a pretty big ask. So I don't know if we can do that. But if there's something I think would be reasonable that we could do, I would go to the government, to our government, and say, you need to make a standard law of 6 months of paid time off with support, family support services to improve lactation, have access to health care, to be able to get a good night's sleep as best you can, and not have to worry about all these other things, about going back to work and not being able to breastfeed, having to worry about where your next meal is coming from, or whether you're going to get kicked out of your apartment because you can't pay the rent and you've got to go back to work. So I would love to see us do that, just like other countries in Europe do. And I think that would have such a huge impact on overall health of our communities, and especially how well babies do in the first year of life.
Hello, my name is Lily Leonardi. I'm a retired law enforcement professional that served as both a police officer and with the FBI Pittsburgh Division. If I had a magic wand to wave to make one change when it comes to infant safe sleep, I would wish that every expectant mom and new mother be made aware of infant safe sleep, as well as all first responders as part of their field training.
The biggest challenge to me, what I think, is the communication or the lack of communication. Unfortunately, healthcare now has become more of a business, so everything is rushed. Families go in, it may be a single parent, it may be two parents. They are tired, they are overwhelmed, and all of this education on how to raise your baby for the next 18 years is thrown at them in less than 24 hours. So I think that having the consistent messaging so that everywhere, in the OB's office, to the delivery room, to the pediatrician's office, to all of the prenatal classes, having family support. I know that that's not always a possibility, but making sure that we're providing the education that's evidence-based, but not just saying, you follow the ABCs of safe sleep, alone back crib, explaining, taking the time to explain, and then doing it, developing relationships so that with your families, so that in fact they feel comfortable coming to you saying, you know what, I really could use some help. Because families are embarrassed to admit that they need help. And so they're resistant. So I think with that communication and relationship building and really treating families as though you're part of their family, I really do think could help reduce our infant fatalities related to unsafe sleep.
Yeah, we've talked a lot today about what to do with the system that we're given that is inherently under-resourced. And I think that what we really want to do is everything we can to push our country in a direction where we actually realize that early education is the most important part of our education system. It's where our most vulnerable children are, and yet we don't fund it anywhere close to what we do for the rest of the education system, right? Like in K-12, we have resource officers and counselors and nurses at schools to make sure that kids are not only receiving education, but they're safe while they're there. Childcare programs don't have any resources like that near them. They have to rely on how much parents can pay out of pocket in order to do all their staffing and have all of these safe practices in place, and parents can't afford to cover all of those expenses. So until we get to a point where childcare providers are not making poverty wages, in Washington State here, childcare educators rank in the 3rd percentile of all occupational wages in our state. That's less than parking lot attendants and pet groomers. So we literally pay people more money to watch our pets and our cars than our babies right now. And that results in high turnover, which means you always have staff coming into programs that don't have that training and background and awareness of what these safe practices and quality care look like. They have to learn that on the job. And programs are continually dealing with that cycle of turnover. And so we need to approach childcare, we need to approach early education the way that we do the rest of our educational system, to make sure that every parent can afford to access childcare, and that every childcare program has the resources they need to pay their staff a living wage, which then enables them to require things like an education and qualifications and training and a background and everything that they need to know in order to not just provide quality care, but ensure that every child is looked after and is in a safe place while their parents are at work. This is absolutely something we can do. We fell one vote short in the Senate just a couple years ago of actually accomplishing a lot of these things. And so in addition to connecting with your CCR&R agency around how to navigate the system and get the questions that you need to access care, I would also talk to your CCR&R agency about how you can get involved in advocating for more resources to be put into childcare and be done so in a way that ensures we have qualified people looking after all of our kids, and every family can afford to take their child to a place where they know they're going to be nurtured and safe while they're at work.
Hey, everybody, we're back. I've lost a window here. So I know that Judy and Bridget are going to be unmuting and turning on their cameras in just a second. Hey, hi, we're back. So here we are. Now I am joined on screen by our CEO and founder, Judy Bannon, and by our Chief Operating Officer, Bridget Gaussa. Hi, you two. How are you?
Oh, hello. How are you?
Good. Sorry, we're not together. And what I hear is a pretty chilly office.
Yes, I understand that.
We'll be back soon.
Yeah.
I have watched that Magic Wand video really a few times. It's just really heartening to hear the ideas and know that there's so many people that share so much of what we're doing. I just really love it. So thank you to everybody that participated. And Judy, that is a heck of a year we had, right?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah. What were your highlights?
There were so many highlights when I think back. I can't pinpoint. We would be here till 2 o'clock this afternoon going over all the highlights, but some of them that come to mind with the release of the 2022 AEP guidelines. Cribs for Kids got busy right away to develop all new educational materials. We call these materials 12 steps for 12 months of safe sleep, and they include a video, posters, flyers, door hangers, badge buddies, and crib cards. And as always, they're available to all of our partners or anyone who's interested on our website.
Are we seeing that slide? Do you guys see that slide? I don't see it.
No, I don't see it.
Andrea, are you able to show us the slide with the stuff that there we go. Look at that. Okay. There they are, the posters, the flyers, the door hangers. All right, sorry, go ahead.
That's fine. I thought it was just me. I was going to say something, but So yes, we're very excited about all of these new materials, and it was a labor of love. We really worked hard to try to incorporate all of the new guidelines. We also incorporated these same guidelines into a safe sleep lullaby, and we call that lullaby Just Baby. And we've ended every one of these webinars with our Just Baby lullaby. It's available on our website, free in English and Spanish. And we will end today's webinar with the lullaby. So we're very proud of that. And it's been well received by so many people who have downloaded it and are using it. We were excited to take the Clear the Cribs crib challenge on the road. So you can see down in your left-hand corner of your screen some of the people who participated in the challenge. And we found out it was not only educational, it was just a lot of fun. So I would advise anyone to use this as a teaching tool, to go into, we were at the University of Pittsburgh, we were at high schools, we were at Healthy Start organizations, and everyone had a great time clearing the crib. And last but not least, at our party, which was highlighted at the beginning of the webinar, we released our 25th anniversary edition of Five Ladies in a Forklift. And this edition has an epilogue that takes us from 2015, when the book ended, up to present day, and it finishes the story so far of Cribs for Kids. So that's available too on our website. It's on Amazon, and it's really a 10-step tutorial on how five ladies got together back in the early 2000s and decided that we were going to take this Safe Sleep program to a national level and help people all over the country save babies' lives. So those are just a few of the highlights of just this year. But if you're interested in all of the things that we've done, you can go back to all the webinars that you can download and watch. And I'm just so pleased with everything that we've accomplished, not only this year, but over the past 25 years.
Right. It was a great year, and there were so many great years that led up to that happening. So,
yes.
Okay, Bridget, how about travels and recognition from the past year?
Yeah, how about that travel? It was a really busy year for us. Across the spring and summer, we did our first Babies and Bumps tour with Etc., which was so fun. We visited cities across the country to talk about safe sleep and share our products. It was really great too. We got to see a lot of our partners during our travels throughout the year. At PrevCon in July, Judy accepted the Safe Kids the Champion for Children Award for Cribs for Kids. And then we were also invited to share our work at the ISPID conference in Florence, Italy in the fall. And it was a highlight to announce our expanded presence there as Cribs for Kids worldwide.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was so exciting. It was so great to make this announcement that we were now Cribs for Kids worldwide to an international audience. But we also have a couple other announcements to cap off our 25 years, and these ones come with prizes. We had two goals for 2023. One was reaching the milestone of 50,000 Safe Sleep ambassadors. Two was getting our 1 millionth safe sleep space into a home. First, the Safe Sleep ambassador, 50,000 was really a stretch, and we debated about it last year at this time, if we could really make it to 50,000. And to our surprise, not only did we make it to 50,000, but we made it to 50,407 people who completed our Safe Sleep Ambassador program. So that's 53,407 people who not only learned all about safe sleep, but part of the Safe Sleep Ambassador is for them to teach 3 other people. So we're really excited about getting that much education out into the public. And we want to congratulate our 50th Safe Sleep Ambassador, Ada.
I feel like we should have a drum roll.
Yes, let's do it. Ada Delani from Linfield, Massachusetts. She completed her Safe Sleep Ambassador on December 1st. So she was the 50,000th person to complete the program. And for that, she wins a $250 gift certificate to etc.com to do some shopping. So we hope that Ada, maybe she's on the webinar. If not, we're going to let her know right after the webinar that she was the winner, and she is our 50,000th Safe Sleep Ambassador. So we're really excited about that. Our second goal was our millionth safe sleep space, and we're proud to announce we achieved that landmark goal also. We have to thank all of the people over the years, for the past 25 years, who have participated with us, and they've been Cribs for Kids partners, and they've purchased our products. And as everybody knows, by purchasing our products, that gives us the ability to provide all the free programming, these webinars, all the materials that we can produce for the whole country. So we want to thank everyone for participating as our partners and by buying our products and providing safe sleep environments for families who otherwise couldn't afford them. So this year, we're announcing right now that our millionth crib went to a group called Maslow's Crib. It is in Charlotte, North Carolina, and they were a brand new Cribs for Kids partner in December. And as we were adding up, and when they put their order in, we saw that they went right over the million mark. So we were excited. We're going to be calling them right after the webinar to let them know that they will receive $1,000 credit on their Cribs for Kids account. So that will give them the ability to buy a lot more cribs and materials for people in their community who need them. So this was just such a fun year. The contests, developing of the new materials, the webinars were sometimes a challenge because of technology like today, but we made it work. We always make it work. And I want to thank my staff, because without you guys, none of this could have been accomplished. So I just look forward to some more great years with Cribs for Kids and working with a wonderful staff and partners all over the country. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, just like we were talking to the Safe Sleep Simulation team, it's all about collaboration and everybody working together. And when you have a shared goal like this,
Yes,
right, it makes it easier to stay focused. And especially when you stand on your shoulders, you make it a little easier too, Judy. So
Yes.
we love sharing everything accomplished across 2023, and we're wrapping up the final 25th anniversary Safe Sleep webinar with some news on what's on deck for 2024. So first, we have our 8th national conference. I think we have a slide about that, maybe. I'm not sure. Nope. Oh, sorry. That's my fault for not having a conference slide. We have our 8th national conference. It was going to be held virtually from May 7th to the 10th. At that conference, we'll debut our 2nd edition of our Safe Sleep Academy website, which is another great program and feature that we have. So that'll be all updated and released at the conference. And then across 2024, we're going to expand our web-based education with advanced professional modules. What that means is we'll use the Safe Sleep Ambassador as a prerequisite, and then we'll release advanced modules for those working in childcare, child protective services, in the NICU as first responders. But first, we're going to be releasing some new infant care products. Bridget.
Yes.
You're going to give us a preview of some of these, right? We had planned to have this all set up on a product table to share, but let's see how we do.
We're going to see how we do. Yes, absolutely. Beautiful product table set up, and now we're here. So, all right, we will have an official announcement when these products will be available for purchase, and that should be sometime within the next month or so. But in the meantime, until then, I'm going to do a little coming soon. And first up is our new wearable blanket right here behind me. You will still be able to get our great snoozette with the ABC toss print, but this is in response to partners' requests for a simpler, more budget-friendly wearable blanket. And this, like our fabulous fleece snoozette, is also able to be customized. We have some fun stuff like our new sippy cup. Hope you can see this.
Yep.
And actually, this is a sippy cup and a snack cup. We love to have like the multi-use items, and then we'll have our bandana bibs and burp cloths. And then we're also expanding our packaging sizes of our Snapette onesies. They're available currently as a single pack, double, and 5-pack, and we're expanding to the 7-pack. So one for each day of the week. And then we will also have, last but not least, a new nursing cover to help promote breastfeeding. And as you can see, these all have some new really sweet designs, sweet patterns like the tossed heart print and then our baby whale print. When these new products are available in our online store, we will let you know. And in fact, we're also going to be announcing the name that was chosen for the baby whale. We actually may be trying our first Facebook Live for this announcement. So please be sure to follow us at Cribs for Kids. But of course, we will also feature this in our newsletter. So be sure to sign up for that as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Bridget.
Yeah,
and
you're welcome.
We have a lot of other fun items coming out for our etc. store. Bathtubs, booster seats, just so many things that will have the baby whale logo on. And I love the way we incorporated our 3 hearts with the whale. So it's just a fun pattern that we think the mothers and the children will also like. And remember that anything bought at our etc. store, along with our Cribs for Kids store through our partner portal, the proceeds go directly back to Cribs for Kids from etc. So all the money that we raise selling our products and etc. And these will make wonderful shower gifts, because if you want to introduce safe sleep at a baby shower without being too in your face, this is a great way to do it. You just give them one of our snoozettes or one of our swaddlettes that has the message ABC, alone on my back, and a crib on it, and that will spark some interest. So we're asking you to visit our stores, visit our etc. store. And I just want to thank everyone again for joining us live today for joining us over the past year at all of our webinars so that we could mark our 25th anniversary in style. Thank you so much.
Okay. I think we're going to wrap it up then, right? I don't know how I feel. This is it for the year then, right? For the 25th year. So as we close the hour, if you've watched any of our webinars over 2023, you know we end with three things: a call to action, open registration for our next webinar, and play our lullaby, Just Baby. So for the final webinar of our 25th anniversary series, we're going to do the same thing. First, the action item. Stay connected with us, please. These webinars have been a great way to do that. But if we're not having a monthly webinar, the best thing to do is follow us on social media. The best thing about following us on social media too is it's all shareable. So if you see something there compelling, you can share our message. So please do follow that, and that's where we will always be sharing information. And you can also sign up for our monthly Final Friday Partner e-newsletter. It's just once a month. If you don't like it, you can delete it, but go ahead and sign up. So next is registration, but not for a webinar, though we plan to have a couple later in 2024. But first, we're going to have our conference. So we hope you'll consider joining us for this 4-day virtual event. No matter where you are, you can log in and listen to real experts and advocates share their community messaging, their research, things that they, everybody has this shared. I think it's the only conference dedicated to safe sleep, right? So if you're interested in this, this is the place to come. Early bird registration is open now, and we'll be releasing the conference schedule later next month. So mark your calendar. That's your action item, or that's your registration. Mark your calendar, register, and join us for the 8th National Conference. And next is the lullaby, right? Action item, follow us on social media, sign up for a newsletter. Registration is for the conference, not for a webinar. But finally, we sign off with Just Baby, a Safe Sleep Lullaby. Like the Safe Sleep Ambassador and our video library content, it's available online at no cost. The song, the video, the music bed, English and Spanish, and it's all out there. Again, as Judy has said a couple of times, and I've said a couple of times, thank you so much to all of our Safe Sleep champion guests across 2023, and today's guests from Safe Sleep Simulation, Alyssa and Adrian. And I want to give a special thank you to who you saw in our Magic Wand video, our champion of champions, Dr. Mike Goodstein. He joined us for 3 webinars this year, including as our first guest, and then hosted that expert roundtable. He's the best. As always, thank you to those joining us live and those watching later. The time and commitment you share with us is how we all make a difference. Here's to another great year. Thanks, everybody.
Sleepy baby, sleeping safely in a little crib. Bassinet or play our naps, no pillows bassinet or play our naps. No pillows, blankets, no toys, just baby.